On this episode of Melty Balance, we'll be looking at one of the two maids Type Lumina has to offer. She may look unassuming, but she's got a mix of zoning, set play, and everything, including the kitchen sink, in her arsenal. She's one of the 5 main heroines of Tsukihime. It's Shiki's faithful maid, Hisui. Technically, there are 3 maid characters in Type Lumina: Hisui, Kohaku, and both of them paired up in a duo. We'll only be looking at solo Hisui in this episode. Maid's duo is their own character with their own intricacies, and to talk about the whole, we have to cover the parts first. Hisui is a legacy character from the original Melty Blood, and much hasn't changed in her transition to Type Lumina. Hisui is a set play character who focuses on getting hard knockdowns. Once she gets this knockdown, she can run her oppressive pressure game that loops into itself. When she's not mixing you up, she's trying to get in using a variety of different projectiles, but she's no slouch when it comes to neutral, as she's got a ton of solid tools to cover all of her bases. This video is split up into sections. In this first section, I'll be talking about Hisui's normals and special moves. In the second section, I'll be doing some match analysis, and in the third section, I'll be talking about Hisui's place in Type Lumina's meta. Hisui's dash is really fast, making her quick on the ground. Her air throw is a vital part of her offense as it leaves her right next to her opponent. I cannot understate how much mileage she gets from this air throw alone. In fact, I'll give you some examples. She can get a deceptive left-right mix-up off of a neutral jump drift. From this, she can use the 2A AD option select to beat out DPs, heat, mashing, and throw. She can also get a safe jump with the corner and bait out other options too. In a game with strong air throws, I was still surprised that Hisui's was this threatening. Most of Hisui's normals are fairly short range with a couple of exceptions. 5A is her fastest standing normal, mainly used for block string rebeats, but can also sometimes be a last minute panic anti-air. 5B is an important normal because it beats low shield, causing it to fail. 5C has a huge hitbox, does a ton of damage, and is the glue in certain combos. 5C is another normal that will beat out low shield. But when charged, this move becomes a whole other beast. Charged 5C goes much further than its non-charged counterpart, letting you easily catch backdashes, which is fantastic news as 5C is one of Hisui's best combo starters, and it has a ton of clash frames, allowing you to brute force your way through most projectiles and normals. You can rebeat into 5A/2A to make this move safe, making charged 5C one of Hisui's most valuable ground tools. And if all of that wasn't good enough, the cherry on top of charged 5C is that it will beat low shield clean. No fail like 5B or regular 5C, you get a full counter hit combo. However, this move does have a ton of recovery and can be shielded on reaction, so don't get too predictable. Hisui's 2A is a standard 2A, good for tick throws, frame traps, shield OSs, etc. 2C, her low sweep, goes a good distance, is pretty fast, and is her farthest reaching crouching normal, giving it utility in combos and block strings. Jump B is an amazing air-to-air normal that has an optional follow-up by pressing 2B. This follow-up will only come out on hit or block. On hit, it sends the opponent hurtling towards the ground, and is integral to her air combo game. On block, it keeps Hisui airborne, letting her continue her block string or delay it slightly to mix up her air timing. Jump C is her other amazing air button. Hisui pulls out a gigantic table with an even bigger hitbox. This move also has a charged version. When charged, it gets clash frames, which is nice but risky as you can easily be outmaneuvered if you spam this thing. But in combos, it's another cornerstone normal ground bouncing on hit. With Hisui's key normals covered, let's move on to her unique command normals. 6C/CC is a set of 3 command normals that cancel into each other. The first 2 can be cancelled into specials and supers, while the third hit can only be cancelled into supers. None of the hits can be cancelled into any normals, so if you pull out the frying pan, you're committing to it. This is best used as a combo tool or as filler in your block strings. This frying pan must be made out of rubber because in the corner, 6CCC will wall bounce, letting you open up even more combo opportunities. You always want to cancel this move into something because it's highly punishable. 4B is a strange command normal. On its own, it's nearly useless, but when charged, it'll produce a second hit that is completely unblockable. You only get 200 damage, but with the right block string, you can guarantee it. Definitely niche, but a nice ace up your sleeve when you have to KO a low health opponent. This move also has some application in baiting out certain reversals. As of the most recent patch, this move is used in some of her moon skill routes, so it has more utility than it did before. The last command normal is Jump 2C, the flying cross chop. This move does not hit overhead. It stalls all air momentum and sends Hisui flying down at an angle. Great for mixing up air movement. This move is also great at baiting throws. This move rounds out Hisui's amazing air normals and is yet another essential to her air combo game. Hisui gets a lot of mileage out of her command normals, but we're just getting started. With everything normal covered, we're busting out the cleaning equipment and getting dirty with Hisui's special moves. Just because Hisui is a maid doesn't mean she can't put her tools of the trade to good use in a fight. With Sturdy Ladle, Hisui lunges forward with a rapid ladle attack. The A version is faster than the B version, but the B version has more range than the A version. Sturdy Ladle is your go-to launcher thanks to its follow-up. Activated by pressing any button after the attack, Hisui uses a second ladle to launch her opponent. This is a non-cinematic launcher, meaning you can use this launch in a combo and still have access to a cinematic launch like 3C, or like the EX version, which cinematic launches on hit. In the grand scheme of things, this EX move doesn't serve much use, but if you're starting out, it's a good option to fall back on if you're struggling with combos. The Moon skill version is Hisui's best reversal while in Moon Drive, thanks to its respectable amount of clash frames. Moon skill Ladle is also great for combos, ground bouncing on hit, and effortlessly comboing into her arc drive. Sturdy Ladle can also be used in the air and serves as vital combo filler, as they allow Hisui to continue her air combo while getting back onto the ground. The A version is faster with less hits, while the B version is slower with more. Both have applications on a per combo basis. One isn't just better than the other. The EX version is Hisui's go-to metered hard knockdown ender. It gives her a ton of time to set up her set play, which we'll talk about shortly. The Moon skill version is almost identical to the A version, not really remarkable, or unremarkable in any way. If done as low to the ground as possible, each version of Air Sturdy Ladle is plus on block to varying degrees. On the ground or in the air, you can always rely on the Sturdy Ladle to have your back. It's Hisui's bread and butter combo special, vital to her Okazeme and set play. Next up is Pardon Me. With Pardon Me, Hisui uses a duster to create a short-ranged projectile. Depending on the button pressed, Hisui will dust in different directions. The A and EX versions cover space in front of her, while the B and Moon skill versions cover the space directly above her. The A version doesn't see as much use as the others, but is useful as an alternative Okizeme tool. The B version acts as your preemptive anti-air, meaning you have to anticipate the jump, and using it in combos acts as an extension, popping your opponent up on hit. The EX version hits multiple times and is plus 25 on block, making it your go-to pressure extension tool. EX Dust can extend the block strings easily from her auto combo or her frying pan's command normal. I can't stress enough that the sheer amount of plus frames you get from this thing is insane. This dust cloud has more plus frames than Saber's, Monte Cristo, and Aoko's EX moves, but not Roa. You can also do some shenanigans with the EX Dust, so make sure you learn the ins and outs of this one. Moon skill Dust Cloud has a unique arc, making it an interesting space control tool, and you can still use it as a launcher in combos. For what part in me lacks in range, it makes up for in utility. This is a move you want to get very familiar with, as it'll be a valuable lifeline when starting out, especially because Hisui has no reversal, so you want to hold on to the advantage for as long as possible. Whoa, watch your step, because watch your step is one of the most complex and versatile projectiles in Type Lumina. Hisui throws out random items that aren't actually random. By inputting a direction after 214 on every version besides the EX version, you can choose which item Hisui throws. 1 throws a slow lamp that travels straight. 2 throws a slow arcing pot. 3 throws a slightly less arcing vase. 6 throws a book that falls to the ground. 7 blitzes a serving tray towards your opponent's face. And then there's the coat hanger that flies straight and kinda fast. This one only comes out randomly. The A version will throw 1 projectile, and the B version will throw 2. The item combos for the B version of Watch Your Step are a bit different. 1 throws the pot and book, 2 throws the vase and lamp, 3 throws the vase and hanger, 6 throws the tray and book, and 7 throws the tray and pot. The EX version throws multiple projectiles, and if any of the projectiles hit your opponent, it will result in a hard knockdown. This also makes it a great ground combo ender, giving you guaranteed Okizeme. The Moon Skill version of Watch Your Step is just as fast as the A version, but will throw 3 items, perfect for filling up the screen with stuff when trying to control the neutral. Like the A and B versions of Watch Your Step, you can dictate what items you get. 1 will throw the pot, the vase, and the book. 2 will throw the vase, the tray, and the lamp. 3 will throw the pot, lamp, and hanger. 6 will throw the hanger, the tray, and the lamp. And 7 will throw the tray, the pot, and the vase. Watch Your Step adds a bit of chaos to Hisui's kit, while also giving her a ton of variety. You can get really creative with this special move, so feel free to experiment. Set play is what Hisui is serving up with well-deserved rest. Well-deserved rest is Hisui's most infamous special move and central to her game plan. Hisui places down a lovely bento box, and after a short delay, it becomes active. Once active, the bento acts like a landmine and will explode when an opponent comes within its proximity. The bento will disappear after a set amount of time, or if Hisui techs a throw, or is hit. The A version places a bento right in front of Hisui, while the B version places a bento slightly ahead of her. Bentos can be placed after anything that gives a hard knockdown, including ground throw. When a bento is set up, Hisui can run your standard mix-up options or just do nothing and pressure. On hit, the bento launches the opponent straight up, perfect for a combo. And on block, the explosion leaves Hisui plus, free to continue her offense. The EX version of bento has Hisui place a large cake on the battlefield. This is mostly used at the end of combos to add a good chunk of damage. The Moon Skill version places a single bento but is much faster than the A or B versions. If you need to get a bento on screen fast, this is your best option. The Moon Skill version can also be charged. The charged version places down 2 bentos and is slightly slower than the non-charged version, but is still faster than the normal versions. Both versions of Moon Skill Bento have hitboxes, giving them combo and block string utility. Well-deserved rest rounds out Hisui's moveset and allows for a lot of player expression and freedom when choosing how you want to play Hisui. Did you know that Hisui means amber in Japanese? The last special I want to talk about would be her arc drive. Hisui does a thing with her arms and shoots out a giant purple fireball. This is one of the few arc drives that can be charged. When charged, Hisui Dark Punch gains slightly more invincibility and damage to compensate for the increased charge time. You can combo into the charged version, but you'll need specific combos to do so, but it's worth it because of the extra damage. In this next section, I want to show you some pro gameplay so you can see all of Hisui's tools in action while being played at the highest level. What better way to demonstrate that than 2022's EVO Grand Finals where Jing's Hisui went up against Musoma's Vlav. This is Set 1, Game 3, Round 2, Jing vs Musoma, EVO 2022. So right there, we see Jing try to use the item toss to fill up the screen, get in on Vlav. Vlav's projectiles are just way too good. Against any better projectile than her own, Hisui is at a massive disadvantage, and through the rest of this round, we really won't see that move used again. So when you're fighting against Vlav, you have to be extremely patient, especially against those projectiles, especially against the stomp, and Jing is just not baiting any of it, playing extremely safe. Just trying the shield, trying to get in, finally gets in with the table, and gets a punish on the high shield. As you can see, we see all the essential combo filler, the pan, the cake, everything. Air throw to end it, jump. Gets another throw, here comes the bento. Gets another throw, here comes the bento. Gets another throw, here comes the bento. And doesn't go for the throw, bento explodes, and he's about to get a full combo and win the round. Now, when you're in that situation with bento, it's already really scary, because if you press any button, the bento is going to explode on you, and you're either going to pop up like what just happened to Vlav, or you're going to be stuck in block stun and forced to, well, take whatever Hisui's about to dish out. Jing plays it extremely patient, waiting for the right opportunity to get in. When Vlav runs out of moon gauge, he sees the opportunity, he does an instant air dash into jump C, which has a huge hitbox, giving him the opportunity to start a block string. Does 2C jumps. Musoma thought he was going to go for some sort of air option, shields, does not, gets punished for that, gets pushed into the corner, and then bentoed into oblivion. That is the essence of Hisui's set play. Alright, so now this is Set 2, this is the Grand Finals reset, Game 4. This is the final game of the EVO set, and this is probably the best Hisui round you'll ever see. Going into this round, Vlav has no moon gauge and Hisui has half. She has the meter advantage, but this will actually work out in Vlav's favor. Vlav went for the low shield, but because he's out of moon gauge, he can't hold shield for longer than a second, and that saves him from getting fatal countered by the charged 5C. But now he has to deal with the 2A rebeat, and he can't really contest due to Vlav's slow buttons. Jing goes for the throw bait with jump 2C, it pays off, and Jing is going to get a nice combo. And throws him out of the corner. Interesting, right? Well, we're really gonna see how scary this air throw is. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna take a sec for you guys. What side is Hisui gonna land on? Now keep in mind, you have all the time in the world to figure this out. Musoma is in the final game, reset, he had to reset to get here, of EVO Grand Finals, and he is one round away from winning. And he has about 2 seconds to figure this out, so you have to imagine he's going to be very defensive in this play. And he takes the throw, and now that he took the throw, you know what comes next, the bento. Jing pushes Musoma away from the bento with that block string and pulls out the duster to extend his turn. Musoma is going nowhere. He's stuck between a bento and a dust cloud. Jing goes full offensive, but does a fake out charged jump C. And Jing goes for throw, and what does that lead to? Another bento. Musoma is trapped in this corner, man. Jing is playing to all of Hisui's strengths. He's staying close, he's using the bento, he's keeping that pressure on, putting Musoma in a very uncomfortable situation. In a situation like this, Vlav's poor defense options show, and without Moondrive, he has to rely on hard reads. Unfortunately, Musoma guesses wrong, and Jing gets another combo that won't kill, but he gets that last hit anyway. So from the top one more time, thanks to the use of charged 5C, the throw bait on the flying cross chop, and then the expert use of Bento and EX Dust Cloud, Jing is able to keep Musoma in the corner and pressure him into oblivion and take the round with the perfect. And that is just a taste of what Hisui can do. If you had any doubts, I hope you can see how strong she can be. Where does Hisui fall in this meta? Despite not having a reversal, Hisui isn't half bad. For one, she can play the fundamental game really well with great buttons and speed. Specials like EX Pardon Me and Bento let her keep the pressure on. Type Lumina is a game that can be very snowbally at times, and those aforementioned specials enable Hisui to take full advantage of that aspect of the game. We saw that well in the match analysis. Although Bento, one of her best tools, is really just a less versatile Aoko orb. Like the orb, once a Bento is on screen, Hisui gets Bento supremacy and controls that chunk of space. On Oki, she can place the Bento in the best possible position to get the best advantage, vastly limiting the opponent's escape options, forcing you to interact with her on her terms. The flaws begin to show when you compare Bento with Aoko's orbs. Orbs are placed and become active faster, can be placed at more angles, gets combos off of throw and overhead while also having the ability to be detonated at any time. We can't overlook her projectiles either. Having that many options on hand is a big plus, but they crumble when faced with better projectiles like Timeless Thunder Needle or Vlav's projectile. That being said, Hisui may be good at fundamentals, but she's not the best by any means. All of her normals besides Charged 5C, 2C, and Jump C suffer from being short-ranged. Plus, pure fundamentals don't make the character in Type Lumina, or else Shiki and Saber would be unstoppable gods. I kid, but to be top tier, you need more than good fundamentals and Bento Ogi. What you really need is privilege. Hisui has a bit of that, but leans more towards the fair side of things. That makes her an all-around good character who has tools that aren't as good as the best of the best, but any weaker character would kill to have them. Mind you, Type Lumina is a very balanced game, and you can play any character. It's just that some are more privileged than others. Hisui has more than enough room to be a real threat, while offering a good dose of player expression and, in my opinion, is the best of the three maids in Type Lumina. But what do you think? Is there anything that Hisui is missing that she sorely needs, or is Hisui right where she needs to be? If you play Hisui, I'd love to hear your perspective in the comments. Oh, and let me know if you think the match commentary should become a regular thing going forward. I just could not resist taking a look at that grand finals. This episode was requested by MS Yawn. Thanks for the request, although this one took longer than I expected. Weak or strong, who should I look at in the next episode? Until that time comes, bye for now.